What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and today I'm going to show you how to mine Tari fast and easy. And we're not going to be utilizing the Tari universe, which we showed you in a previous video. We now have a nice, fast and easy way to deploy your mining farm at the blink of an eye. Let's check it out. So before we get into that, let's just take a look at the Tari Block Explorer. This gives you all the network parameters and information about it in terms of hash rate, blocks found, and so on. And we can see here that the CPU side seen a hash rate spike moving up pretty fast, and the same thing happened on the GPU side. So in this video, I will be showing you how to utilize on GPUs. I'm not going to show CPUs until everything is ready, but we'll go through the info on what is coming when it comes to the CPU side of things. So here in the GPUs, we can see a solid increase in here, and this is due to two factors. One, a GPU pool. What just happened here? It updated on me. Let's just kind of go back here. So for the GPU side, a third-party miner did release SRB miner, and a mining pool opened up. Put those two things together, easily access HiveOS fleets, MMOPS, anything, and you can now point your rig strictly towards a mining pool and get everything running like a normal blockchain instead of running their default software. But one thing I am looking at, which is interesting here, is around block, let's just say around block 4450, we can see the hash rate is dropping and coming on about 4450 here. It's already on the way down. So I don't know if something's happening to the network or maybe the testing phase, they all dropped off at the same time. I don't know what's going on here, but we can see a hash rate drop coming, but we can clearly see while everything was in testing mode and everything that the hash rate was spiking very, very fast. So let's look at what to do. All right, so to get started, the first thing you're going to need is a wallet. You can use the wallet address on your Tari universe. I downloaded the mobile wallet, and as we can see here, this is the mobile wallet on my phone. They also have an emoji address here as well as a normal address, which is kind of interesting. I've never seen that, but it looks like a thing. I'm just using the default one because I don't know how that emoji one really works. Maybe it will. You could try it out for yourself. But I just emailed my wallet address to me in an email, and then I just copied that over to create my wallet in HiveOS. So now let's jump into HiveOS over here. If I can find it. So here's our test bench, and I'm going to come in here and look at the latest version. We can see SRB miner version 2.8.7, added algorithm SHA-3X for GPU mining XTM Tari cone on AMD, NVIDIA, and Intel. There is a 3% fee utilized here. So the first thing you're going to need to do if you're not on the latest version HiveOS is simply click on that and upgrade your rigs and reboot them. So simply hit that upgrade button. All right, so while I'm waiting for my test bench there to upgrade, I'm just gonna scroll on up here through all the CPU rigs, go into our wallets here, and then we're gonna add our wallet. So I copied it in from my email. I'm gonna go to add wallet here. Now type coin and ticker. I'm gonna go Tari in this case, and it doesn't look like there's anything in by default. I'm just gonna put a capitals just to see if there's anything there, nothing there. So I'm just gonna create that coin, enter my wallet address, enter the name. I'm just going to go mobile. That way I know where this wallet address is. Then I'm just going to create that. Our wallet address is now done. So next up, I am going to come into our flight sheets here, and we're going to create a brand new flight sheet. So type coin and ticker. I'm going Tari here. We can see it pops up right there. Enter our wallet, mobile wallet pool. We're going to have to configure this in the miner, and obviously we're going to be utilizing SRB miner. Name this flight sheet. I'm going to go Tari GPU, and then we're going to set up our miner config. All right, so this is where all the magic happens here. So we're going to hashing algorithm. We're going to need SHA-3X. So hopefully it's, yeah, there we go. SHA-3X is right there. So we're going to need our wallet. We need our worker name right here. And then our pool, server, and port. So the pool that did open up here is Lucky Pool. As we can see here is luckypool.io. We're going to click on Tari here. We're going to let that do its thing. And now we got to go to how to mine. Once we get into here, you can see the stratum. So we do need, they have a US version, which is actually in Canada. So that is awesome. I am Canadian, so I appreciate this 100%. So I'm going to copy this like so. And then here is our mining port here. It looks like TCP only. There is no variable difficulty. So you can set static difficulties if you really want and stuff. So here's our port 6118. So I'm going to come in, go back into my HiveOS here. We're going to put our port in there. put our colon and then 6118. Always double check because I always tend to mess up and you might as well. So I just want to come back in just to make sure that is correct. 6118. Yes, it is. There we go. We look good there. Plug in device configs. We're all good on this aspect. You can disable your your CPU and stuff if you want, but SRB miner isn't configured for the CPU side on this, and neither is the pool. So you shouldn't have to add anything in. So this looks good. Now we're just going to apply those changes and create that flight sheet. All right, so our rig is rebooted and no miner is set. So we're just going to close all that out. We're going to hit the flight sheet here, scroll on down to our latest flight sheet, Tari right here. And we're simply going to send that to the moon like so. Come back into our worker here. Just find it for a second. We're going to set some overclock settings. So I do believe, remember, correct me if I'm wrong, you can try settings and down in the comments. People will probably put some settings down. You can copy them or something. But I'm going to lock my memory clock at 5001. And I am going to set my locked core clock. I don't know what to run. This is only a 3060, so I'm just going to start with like 1600. And I do want to set that offset of 300. So what the offset is, this is like if you're used to Ethereum and AMD GPUs, this is like setting your core voltages. So for numbers you put here, you're just dropping your voltages on your GPU, ultimately making it a bit more efficient. Doing some undervolting there. So obviously the higher number could run into instability. So maybe drop it down a little bit if your GPU starts to crash. So that's what's going on here. 300 offset. I run this on all my NVIDIA GPUs. I'm just locking the core at 1600. You know, a 4090 you could run around 22 to 2400. I could probably get away with 18 on this. And I'm locking that memory at 5001. I'm simply going to apply those overclock settings and we're just going to wait for this thing to play out. But we can see we are getting hash rate now. All right, so I just SSH'd into my rig here just to see what things are looking like within the miner, and we can see auto tuning started. We have an accepted share, so that's great. We're talking to the pool, we're finding shares. It does say hash rate will fluctuate while tuning. So there's an auto tune function going on in here for this algorithm. So if you see hash rates going up and down quite a bit, just let it sit and things will kind of even out here. It is saying only 56 watts. SHA-3 is a core intensive algorithm. It is efficient. It's also very acceptable for ASICs to hit in the near future. Will they happen? I guess it comes down if it makes sense for depending on whatever the price ends up at. All right, so now we want to make sure we get detected at the pool. So if you come into your flight sheet, you can simply copy your address this way. And then we're going to go to our pool here. And that's not the right one. Where's our mining pool? Here it is. Here's our mining pool. And if we click on the top at your stats, and here you input your wallet address, we paste that in, look up, and here we go. We can see we're currently at about 110 mega hash. We are detected. Everything is working. Here's test bench, region, Canada, the miner version we're using, and so on, our current effort and whatever else. So there we are. We are mining at the pool. Payout threshold is 50 XTM, and we're up and running. It is fast and easy, and you no longer have to run the Tari universe on every single rig here. You don't have to run it at all anymore unless you want to use that for your wallet. But I do recommend the mobile wallet. It makes things so much easier here. Email it to yourself and then send it on over to HiveOS. And at that point, you can just start. If you have like 20 GPU mining rigs, 6 to 12 cards each, you can obviously just hit the button here, pick your flight sheet right here, send them all to the moon and move your entire fleet over at the blink of an eye. All right, so let's talk about the CPU side. And if you are unaware that there is actually two sides of the chain, 50-50 split across the board, SHA-3X, which is the GPU side, is here. There's also a RandomX side, which is the CPU side. And for the CPUs, they are also merge mining Monero XMR alongside of Tari. So you're actually mining two coins at the same time when you mine on CPU. So coming into here, we can see some of the large pools are getting ready to adapt this. As you can see in the Monero mining here, PSA, merge mineable coin is being merge mined. So since Fluffy Ponzia, let the cat out of the bag, I'd like to clarify a few things. Yes, supportxmr.com is currently in the process of implementing Tari merge mining. As soon as we finish implementing the reward side of things, user will be able to opt into merge mining by specifying their Tari address and receive Tari rewards. So that's a pretty large pool and a pretty big deal. As if we come into here, that's the second largest Monero pool currently sitting around 1.1 gigahash of network hash rate. The other major thing is Monero Ocean. They're another large farm here, and we can see the pool has started merge mining Tari TXM alongside XMR today. This is May 6th, so they're already doing it. Once TXM is listed on a supported exchange, it'll be sold, including what's currently being mined, to help boost XMR pool rewards as usual. So if you're unfamiliar with Monero Ocean, they run their own version of XMRig. It's called XMRig MO, and it does a benchmark on your CPU hardware, even GPUs on some of the GPU coins out there that they support. And it mines all the coins, and it pretty much profit switches between them all, sells it, and pays you an XMR, which is ultimately the best way to stack XMR if that's what you're looking for. But the downside for something like Tari and other coins is it is 100% sell pressure, so all that hash rate coming in is just going to be dumping that coin and buying more Monero, because everyone on the pool only gets Monero. So if you're a Monero miner and you want Monero Ocean is obviously one of the best places to go to, but it's bad for the coins that they dump. And that could be bad for early Tari when it first gets listed, but time will have to tell. All right, guys, so that pretty much does wrap this up. Once the CPUs are available, whether support XMR gets it enabled or the exchange opens and Monero Ocean goes live, then I'll get you a guide set up for those ones. But let me know if this video helped you up in any way, shape, or form. I also implemented or updated the core to about 1800. You can now see our software power is about 75 watts. So we're probably around the 85 to 90 watt range at the wall here. I don't have a tester on it, so I'm not testing. And we did get a boost upwards to about 241 mega hash on the RTX 3060. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.